obviously we've arrived at Wellington. This is down by the harbour, as you can see from the background. We've changed our mind and we're not going to decide to go on to the second island now, which is down the south, because, well, as you can see, fire brigades and the ambulance are in the background. They've had a lot of flooding around this area. I don't know if you can hear me with these winds anyway. So we've decided to stay in Wellington and try and do a few more sites. As you can see in the background and that, like, none of the ferries are actually running today and that, like, so everybody's a bit frustrated because they've got to stay around here. But we're going to cut our losses and we're going to try and have a look around and try and make up. We're only going to be here for a couple of days, so it's not really worth it. It takes about 3 hours to get across and 3 hours to come back. Then you've got to get off the boat and on it, so it's not really worth it for us because we're only here for a couple of days. So we'll just show you a little bit more of Wellington. Here is New Zealand's famous museum, Te Papa, meaning our place. It was built at a cost of 300 million New Zealand dollars. It opened on February the 14th, 1998. It has 36,000 square metres of floor area and has had in excess of 4 million visitors since it opened.
We're in the city centre now in the Te Papa Museum. It's free, which is good, and it's the best natural history museum in New Zealand, and it's all about the history of New Zealand and all that, so it should be quite interesting, so let's go have a look. Enough of that. Our first port of call was this, an interactive gallery of information on how the world was formed. It was great fun to watch these images of molten lava congeal and erupt in front of us. They were projected on a huge split screen in full Dolby Digital surround sound. This explains why we see so many dead possums on the road in New Zealand. They're like our hedgehogs in the UK. Well, here are some wetter beetles things. And then the company that does special effects on film in New Zealand, Weta, must be named after this. Take a look.
The special effects company Weta has worked on Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy. Here we have some various sharks' teeth and obviously the great white shark. Well, in front of me here is one of the cannons that was on James Cook's Endeavour's ship, and it's over 200 years old. It's quite an impressive sight. And here is a painting of James Cook. There is interesting facts about flying at the museum, like the pioneering engineer Richard Pearce. He is said to have taken flight with a powered, heavier-than-air machine some 9 months before the Wright brothers. What's it supposed to do?
multi-ages. Look like a flag.
We both couldn't believe how diverse the exhibits were.
As we continued through the displays on show, we came across some exhibits involving the produce produced from New Zealand. Here, this cow is made up of empty cans of corned beef.
Well, we found out that the Maori have these tattoos on their faces. We thought they were tribal marks, but they're not. They're their ancestors' marking. It's like having your surname tattooed on your face. The women only have it on their legs, the men have it all over and all over their bodies, which we didn't know. So it's really quite interesting. And apparently it's carved in the skin with a bone and dyed. So here's an example.
Just been watching a documentary over in the other room. Been on for about 3 minutes on various metals and woods, and we've come across one of a local stone called Paua, I think it is pronounced, and it's a small colourful shell. And Barry noticed that in the Mai area where they live, they make carvings of figurines with their tongues coming out, and he also noticed that their eyes were shining and he didn't quite know what it was, and I think we found out exactly what it is. It's a Paua stone that they work down to a smooth shiny surface, and then they put in their eyes to make them look very colourful and give them a lot of movement, and when the light shines in them it gives it a sense of bewilderment and glare. So let's take a look at this one. Here's another example of the use of the shell power. It's by Brian O'Connor, and it's a surfboard, and believe it or not, you can actually use it.
Just like their cousins across the water in Australia, New Zealand are known for their quality of wool produce too.
Here is the Queen of Wool, Mary Annette Hay, a fourth-generation New Zealander who has made a very successful career as a dress designer in the 50s, working exclusively in wool. These dresses you see here before you are completely made from natural wool.